Brothers and sisters of the UAW, my name is Shawn Fain, and as of today, I am declaring my candidacy for International President of the UAW. During my 28 years as a UAW member, I have served at every level of our union. As a worker on the shop floor, as an electrician at Stellantis' Kokomo casting plant in Kokomo, Indiana, as a local leader where I've served as Education and Bylaws Chair, CAP Chairman. I was elected to 5 terms as a Skilled Trade Committee person, as the shop chair, as a delegate to the National Convention, and also as a national negotiator during the bankruptcy of 2009 and again in 2011. Currently, I serve at the international level where I've served as an international rep, as a coordinator, as an assistant director, and currently as an administrative assistant to the vice president. No matter what level I've served this union, I've always put the membership first in any issue we faced. So why am I running? In an email on June 14, 2022, President Curry announced that all staff hired after June 1, 2008 would be brought up to the staff retirement income pension plan as the staff who hired in prior to June 1st of 2008. Here's what this means. President Curry and the IAB are eliminating tiers for international staff, while tiers remain among our membership. On top of that, on March 25, 2022, President Curry announced an early retirement incentive for international staff that coincides with the upcoming election of international leaders. That way, in case the election doesn't work out, they can retire and walk away with a $20,000 bonus on their way out the door. When the priority should be the tens of thousands of our members on the shop floor who hired in from 2007 forward and have no defined pension or post-retirement health care, and also have had to go through an 8-year progression to get to full pay, or we have the continued abuse of thousands of temporary workers, or the hundreds of thousands of retirees who paved the way for all of us, and how they haven't been able to keep up with inflation. Instead, President Curry and the IAB decided the bigger priority for themselves was to lock down the support of international staff reps for the current administration caucus. This is just one example of the misguided priorities of our administration caucus. I'm fed up with watching our union continue to lose ground through the most profitable years in the history of many of our companies. If our IAB doesn't get our priorities in order and fight for our membership and our work, we're going to be left with no jobs, no union, and our retirees hung out high and dry. After the Great Recession and the sacrifices borne by our members and our retirees, we had 2 golden opportunities in 2015 and 2019 to regain what was lost and bring more security to our members. Instead, our leadership was too busy taking care of themselves, covering up their corruption, and infighting over who the next representatives would be. Meanwhile, we were still losing plants and hemorrhaging jobs as the companies were making billions of dollars. The UAW used to set the standard for the working class. Now, many of our workers' only path to security is as a temp worker at a lower wage than the local car wash and fast food chain pays. This is unacceptable. John F. Kennedy once said, "There are risks and costs to a program of action, but they are far less than the long-range risk and cost of comfortable inaction." This has been the plight of our great union over the last 40 years. With the creation of joint programs and the funneling of billions of dollars through the big 3 joint training centers over the years, our leadership became way too complacent and close to management rather than confronting the issue and the big picture that lie ahead. This has led us to our current situation where during and after 2019 bargaining, we're still losing plants, work is being outsourced, members are being laid off while temps are working. We had the current situation at Oshkosh Defense where they went in and lobbied the government for a $6 billion contract for the next generation of postal vehicles, only to see that work move to a non-union South Carolina location. We've witnessed multiple joint venture battery plants being announced with no guarantee these locations will be UAW and no security for the future of our members who may be impacted by the switch to electric vehicles. Over my 20+ years, I've heard our top leadership use the phrase repeatedly, "We'll live to fight another day." Well, another day has come and gone several times over those 20 years as we've lost plants and jobs and we have seen zero action from our leadership. Going forward, we have to prioritize our issues, and these upcoming negotiations are critical to every sector of our union because Big 3 bargaining typically sets the tone for bargaining in other sectors. Our focus should begin with, but not limited to, some of these issues: the elimination of multi-tier wage agreements, the return of suspended job security language, the return of the suspended cost of living language, the elimination of alternate work schedules, taking care of our retirees, making our temporary supplemental workforce permanent, having an actual strategy for electric vehicles rather than waiting on the companies to make announcements and then respond, and organizing new workplaces to grow our union. This upcoming election is about whether you want to continue as a non-confrontational company union versus getting back to our roots as an adversarial union. This doesn't mean we fight over every issue, but it does mean we fight when the occasion calls for it. Our livelihoods and our very existence is at stake. This election is about power and control of this union, and it comes down to two choices: elect the administration caucus and endure more of the same, continue to die a slow death, plant by plant or job by job, or elect new leadership and put the power and control of this union back in the hands of the membership, and have leadership that will be accountable to the membership first. I don't forget where I come from. 3 of my 4 grandparents, many of my family members were UAW members and retirees who worked at GM and Chrysler. Since I've been a rep for over 20 years, every day at work, I've carried a check stub for my grandfather, who hired in at Chrysler in 1937, the year the UAW organized Chrysler. I carry it as a reminder to never forget the sacrifices those who came before us made. The question for us now is whether we're ready to step up and follow their example. So how do we fix over 20 years of losses and complacency? By using one member, one vote. For the first time in our union's history, every member gets to cast a ballot for the IAB leadership. You now have the power to change the course of our union for generations to come. This is our moment to finish the job. The decision is yours, and the decision comes down to 2 options. Vote for the IAB's administrative caucus and continue with more of the same, or vote for new leadership and take back your union and have leadership where the membership is truly the highest authority. I will be sharing more about my background information and my positions in depth. I look forward to more conversations as we move forward in this election. Thank you for taking the time and listening, and I appreciate your support in the future.